Welcome everyone. SEMS Welfare Foundation is a non-profit entity established to work in the areas of education, social welfare, women empowerment, skill development, and entrepreneurship, livelihood generation and employability, health, research, culture, international cooperation, sports, environment protection, or any other similar sectors. We promote healthy lives, a balanced and active community, and strong businesses. Colonel Sanjit Siroy, an economics graduate from Delhi University, joined Indian Military Academy in 1975, served for 35 years and retired as a colonel in 2009. In last 11 years, he has interacted with more than 2000 students and helped them in craving their success path by developing their soft skills, employability skills. In last couple of years, Colonel Sanjit Siroi has partnered with the prestigious CBSE schools in NCR to speak with adolescents, promoting life skills and helping them in identify their identities, and conducted teachers motivating and training workshop to mark on his professional volleys with excellence. He has attended soft skill training course for Institute of Image Consulting Business Institute, New Delhi, training public speaking experiences, worked as senior trainer for personality development with Winning Mantra Noida, worked as director HR in Institute of Hotel Management, Meerut for 7 years and was responsible for training and placement of fresh hospitality graduates, conduct coaching classes for SSB, conduct workshops on teachers faculty development, delivers talk during parent-teacher meetings in most of the prestigious schools in NCR. Presently, conducts classes on employability skills for graduates and postgraduates at Chaudhry Charan Singh University, Meerut.
Thank you. Thank you, Banu. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We today will discuss a very important topic, and that topic is what is most important to you. Now, before I do that, I would like to tell you an actual story, a true story. This story is about a person who is now 31 years old. When he was 6 years old, he came to know in school that many people in Africa have a hard time getting access to clean water. And his name is Ryan Herjek. Herjek began raising money for those affected by the global water crisis by doing household chores, which netted him only $70 over a 4 month period. Now, at that point of time, he came to know that to build a well or to dig a well, you require $2,000. So he started working more hard, and within 12 months, he was able to raise $2,000. That was the cost of building a well. Now, there was an organization known as WaterCan, which is a non-profit organization that provides clean water to poorer countries. In January 1999, when he was just 8 years old, he handed over that $2,000 to WaterCan, an organization, for drilling a first well in North Uganda alongside the Angolo Public School. In 2 years, he raised $61,000. There was an organization, the Canadian International Development Agency, which heard of Herjek's efforts and matched $2 for every dollar that was raised by him. Then later on, Herjek founded Royals Well Foundation, a Canadian charity, to build in Africa and educate children about sanitation and water. Now, till 2015, it had completed 900 projects benefiting 8,24,000 people. 1,000th well was dug in 2015, and the effort is going on. For his work, Rajak was received the World of Children Award in 2003. He was made a lifesaver hero by My Hero Project in late 2010. He is the youngest person ever to receive the Order of Ontario. He has also been awarded the Canadian Meritorious Service Medal, the Duke of Edinburgh Gold Medal, Wolf Award, and Planet Africa's Nelson Mandela Humanitarian Award. That too in only when he was 25 years old. So what was most important to him was to dig well for the people in Africa who were facing the water crisis. So he made his purpose to provide drinking water to poor people. So that is the most important thing for all of us, to have a purpose in life. But unfortunately, let me tell you, there are only 20% of people in this world who have purpose in life. There are 25% who are totally disengaged. Disengaged means they are those people who express no purpose at all. Then there are dreamers, which account for 25%. And who are the dreamers? They are those who express ideas about their purposes. They would like to have sometimes very inspiring and imaginative ideas, but they are only dreams. Third category is dabblers. Now, who are the dabblers? Dabblers are those who have engaged in activities that appear to be at least potentially purposeful, but who showed little awareness of the meaning of these activities beyond the present. They account for 30%. And as I told you, rest 20% are only people who are purposeful. And who are those? Those are who have found something meaningful to dedicate themselves to, who have sustained this interest over a period of time. So it is not that they have purpose today and then they change the purpose. So if they have sustained it over a period of time, and who express clear sense of what they are trying to do and in the world and why they are trying to. So unfortunate part is that there are only 20% of the people in this world who are purposeful. With this as a background, we will go through the complete, we will see what purpose is, how is it different from passion. Then we will see what are the things which make the purpose. Then we will see how the purpose help us in becoming successful, not only in our life, but in our profession also. And then we will find ways and means to identify, establish, and sustain purpose. So with this as a background, let's start. What is a purpose? A purpose gives you a guiding philosophy. You must mark each and every word, because if you understand each and every word of the definition, it will be much easier for you to understand the later part of the talk. Purpose gives you a guiding philosophy that can ensure decisions are easier to make and helps you use your passion to accomplish the things that are important to you. Now, what is purpose? Purpose is a stable and generalized intention to accomplish something that is at the same time meaningful to the self and consequential for the world beyond the self. So the difference is that the purpose is meaningful to us also, and it is consequential to the world. That means it is beyond ourselves. Now, there are two things which are important in a purpose. Purpose is a goal of sorts, but is far more reaching and more stable. So, purpose is not a goal, but it is like a goal which is far more reaching and more stable than common level, lower level goals. That is number one thing you must understand. It is a goal, but it is far more reaching and stable. Purpose may play part in one's personal search for meaning, but it goes beyond personal meaning and therefore is not synonymous with it. Purpose reaches out to the world beyond self. It implies to make a difference in the world, perhaps to contribute something to the others. That is the main meaning of a purpose. Now in this, there is second important thing, that is the passion. Most of people, they confuse between purpose and a passion. So let us at the start only find out that what is the difference between a purpose and passion, and they are not the same. What is passion? Passion is that what lights you up. That is what makes your heart sing. That makes you joyful. That makes you happy. That is your purpose. What do you find yourself constantly researching or obsessing over? That is your purpose. 9 times out of 10, the things that you find yourself drawn to are your passion. That means if whole day you are thinking about one thing, that is your passion. And they are the things that you have an intense liking and dislike for. While you may have something you are passionate towards, it is important that you don't confuse it with your purpose. So we have seen what is purpose. That means it was a goal sort of thing. And secondly, it was meaningful to us and also meaningful to others. That means we were contributing to others. Then we saw what is passion, that is what lights you up. And then let us see what is the difference between the passion and the purpose. Your passion will serve as tools in carrying out God calling for your purpose. That means Your purpose is the God's calling. Your purpose is the reason in which God created you to exist. Unlike your purpose, your passion may change. That means your passion remains the same. Your purpose remains the same because that is what the God's calling is. That's why God has sent you on this earth. The basic difference between passion and purpose is that passion is something we look for, while purpose is already placed inside of us. So this you must understand the difference between passion and purpose. Actually, passion is a tool to achieve our purpose. Now let us see what all are the elements which make our purpose. Firstly, there is a direction in which it sends us. That is very, very important. As a result, we act with intention and organize our lives around the goals that moves us in our chosen direction. So it gives us the direction. It helps us as a GPS. As a result, prioritizing our resources to support our goals. That is number one. Number two, while the route to achieving the purpose may be flexible, but the ultimate aim remains the same. So the purpose gives us the direction in which we have to move. It is like a compass. It is like a North Star, where once you know the North Star, then you can keep on moving during dark night also. Number two is that second element of purpose is wanting to contribute to the wider world. Your purpose is more than just a goal that you tick off. It represents the way you add value and contribute to the success of others. What lends stability to our purpose is the knowledge that it will leave the world a better place. The knowledge that our life will have a purpose even after our death makes our goal and efforts feel more worthwhile and gives our life more meaning. So it contributes to the others. As a result, after our death also, it will keep on living. And finally, having the stability of purpose allow us to behave with consistency. We won't always behave exactly in the same way. There will always be need to have psychological flexibility to adapt to changing environment and opportunities or to deal with obstacles from time to time. Rather than avoiding tricky situations, we can approach them with clarity of intention and make decisions that fit the life narrative that our purpose gives. So three things makes a purpose. One is the direction. Number two is the contribution to the world. And number three is it gives the consistency. If we put together all these three, that is the direction, contribution, and the consistency, we might think of a purpose as an organizational framework akin to scaffolding. It shapes our behavior so that our actions reflect our values and it prevents us from drifting. That is the contribution of these three elements. Now, if these are the three elements, how do we measure them? How do we measure our purpose? How do we find out that our purpose is strong? Let us see that. First is by assessing its scope. The purpose may feel fluffy and fluid, but we can measure it by assessing its scope. That is how ubiquitous it is in our life, how centered it is in our life. It has a dominant influence on our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. That is number one. You can measure your purpose by seeing your thoughts, emotions, and behavior. Number two, strength. How much influence it brings to our decisions. The stronger the purpose, the more centered it is in our life, the more benefits we gain from it, and more able we are to deal with obstacles. Purpose is the one, if we know that and if we follow that, then we are not worried about the obstacles. We will be always looking toward the opportunities. And third, but the most important is awareness of it. We must be aware of our purpose, how far to the front of mind it sits. The more awareness we have of it, the more elements we will find to support and help our purpose. So what we have seen what purpose is, what passion is, what is the difference between purpose and passion. Then we have seen that how it can be measured, what are the elements which make the purpose. Now we move slightly further. In meta-analysis of dozens of studies, people who are most purpose in life have been shown to have the following characteristics. They have above average health. They feel some kind of mastery and competence. They have higher quality relationships. They are more likely to be married. They are working even if they are eligible for retirement, like I am working. I have retired 15 years back and have higher socio-economic status. So these are some of the characteristics of a person who is a purposeful. People who do not have purpose are likely to drift, whether from one project to another or from one group of people to another group of people. They are less productive. They are more likely to get bored in life. They struggle to sustain close relationships, and longer they follow an incongruent purpose, the worse they feel. So it is important for us to have a purpose in life. Now, there are some traits which are common in those who are purposeful. And what are those traits? Extroversion. They are extroverts. And they are extrovert because their purpose is to help the others, to do something for others, to contribute something to others. So if they are not extrovert, they will not be able to achieve that. So this is one very strong characteristic in a people who are purposeful. Second is agreeableness. Third is conscientiousness. Fourth is they are emotional stable. And fifthly, they are open to experiences. They don't have a closed mind. They have an open mind. So, but after seeing these personality traits, it does not mean that all those who don't have these personality traits or who have less number of these personality traits will not be able to find a purpose. It is not like that. Only is they need to focus more carefully to identify. Now let us see what are the benefits of having a purpose. Because unless you have benefits in something, there is no point of following that. And those benefits are those benefits which will help you in becoming successful in your work, in your social life, and in your personal life. Having purpose in life has been shown to make us happy. It has this effect because the way in which it influences our well-being. It influences our well-being, it increases our resilience, gives us more energy for things that matters to us. It helps us in coping mechanism to combat stress and distress, improve our relationship with others, in turn boost our self-esteem, give us a sense of achievement when we reach our goals, and when our achievement matches our value, we experience joy. And all these contribute to greater life satisfaction. And as you all know, the greater the life satisfaction is, the more happy we are. So the first thing which purpose gives you is that it makes you happy. Second is it makes us more emotionally stable. Researchers have confirmed that those who report greater level of purpose are better able to regulate their amygdala. Now, what is amygdala? It is that part of brain that is sensitive to threats. They are consequently able to control their feelings more effectively and make decisions that are rational and sensible, rather than made as a response to a perceived threat or fear. Third advantage, it protects us from psychological threats. That is not the happiest of subjects, but it is one in which purpose is very, very important. While we know that the death is inevitable, but fear of death can lead to existential anxiety. But if we have purpose in life, that feeling that we are contributing towards something that will outlive us can be reassuring. It can also help us feel more worthwhile as we sense our brain and body slowly weakening over time. Purpose acts as a buffer against depressive thoughts. Fourthly, help us maximize our brain's reward system, thus making us feel more positive. When we experience something that matches the sense of meaning we have in our lives, our dopamine system is set off and we receive a buzz. The more we live in congruence with our purpose, the more dopamine buzzes we receive. Purpose has strong physical health benefits. It can literally add years to your life. A study in Japan followed over 43,000 adults over 7 years and found the sense of purpose had a lower level of mortality, particularly with respect to chronic complaints like cardiovascular disease. The suggestion is that the ability to find meaning and direction in life helps to slow the impact of aging. So, my dear friends, if you want to stay young, you must have purpose in life. Those with purpose are more open to hearing health messaging and following advice. Perhaps this result also shows that people are open to following the advice of the doctor or anybody else. A study has also shown and it has found that people with sense of purpose exercise more, ate more vegetables and fruits, flossed their teeth more often, and slept better. Our cognitive health also improves, very, very important. A study confirmed that those whose sense of purpose was in the top 10% were found to be 2.4 times more likely to stay free of Alzheimer's disease than those in bottom 10%. So our cognitive health also improves with our purpose in life. It helps us in allocating our resources effectively, helping to overcome those obstacles that prevent us from behaving in a ways that are consistent with our aim. We can shift our physical and cognitive resources to where they will be most useful. This means that we have a greater persistence in facing difficult tasks, giving us resilience and emotional stability. Purpose also gives us psychological safety. When we have sense of purpose, we feel empowered. We don't need to check with other people to do anything. We are very, very confident to do everything ourselves because it builds responsibility and the knowledge that we can question less and move forward with intent. With psychological safety comes psychological flexibility, which means that we can become more adventurous, which gives us a chance to work on things that really excite us. There is less reason to procrastinate, and you are motivated to push on through the tough times, confident that the outcome will be worth it. Purpose makes us safe because we tend to find tribe. We will tend to associate with those people who share our aim and purpose. This feeling of togetherness is a powerful motivator. As we progress and see our goals being achieved, our motivation will increase. We will have sense of belonging, we will feel mastery, and because we are working on our own volition, we will have autonomy. When we have purpose, we can set the goals very easily. When we are clear about where we want to be, we can make a solid plan to get there. This clarity means that we stop getting distracted and instead focus on our energy to the right place. And we all do this proactively rather than simply responding to other people's agenda. It is easy to prioritize and allocate resources accordingly. We can make strategic choices about how we allocate time, energy, and cognitive space. We fritter away only a few hours on non-purposeful activities, and rest of the time is spent on our purposeful activities. It feels like we have been granted permission to say no to all those things we don't align with our purpose. And last is that help people with emotional recovery. Those with higher level of purpose recover more quickly, suggesting that purpose helps us develop resilience. Increased resilience and persistence help us get better at coping with tough times. So these were the 14 types of benefits, whether they are related to your physical being or your cognitive being, whether to your health, whether to your goal setting. Everything is what you have seen gives benefit to you if you have a purpose in life. Now let us see now how to identify the purpose. Developing your purpose is a lifelong process that starts in teenage years. It is entwined with the establishment of your identity, the development of who you are. But purpose itself has more to do with you to hope accomplish. Once your purpose is established, it can shape how you see your place in the world, which can give you a sense of meaning in your life. Other adults are more likely to find a purpose later in life if they haven't done already when they were young. As we age and lose some of our vitality, we have few closely defined roles and opportunities to live in our purpose. However, with the purpose, the freedom that retirement brings can give older people more time and energy to devote to the cause that matters to them. Now, let us see how you can find the purpose. Figuring out your core purpose isn't quick, easy. It is unlikely to appear suddenly in a light bulb moment. You need some focus to identify your purpose. It is deep and slow operation that develops through engaging with others and assessing your responses to difficult situations. Now, what are the difficult situations? What values do you follow when you find yourself up against? What sort of Injustice raises your hackers. Often, after assessing yourself over many months, will your purpose emerge. When there is an alignment between what you feel is important and your own values, you will hit the jackpot in identifying a powerful purpose. We can ask ourselves the following question: whether our purpose provides us with a framework to make difficult decisions? And secondly, is it social? Does it help others? If doesn't, it may be a good goal, but we are not going to get any benefits from it. Some of us will be able to quickly identify our purpose. It may be transformative events in life. And what can be the transformative events in life? It might be helping to fundraise for research after a family member has suffered a rare type of cancer. It might be losing your job unfairly and campaigning for better redundancy laws. And lastly, it might be helping others access information that helped you thrive. Third is by social observations. Another route to purpose comes from social observation, noticing what other people are doing and wanting to emulate them. And fourth is the visualization. In visualization, you have got two options: depth reflection and best self. In depth reflection, where we put our future life in context and think about what we would like to leave behind when we die, what mark we would like to have left on the world. For example, a law which protects people, a brilliant piece of artwork which inspires people, a book someone will never forget, or simply few people are having better lives because we were there for them. Very, very important. That is what the depth reflection is. That once you are no more in this world, how you are going to leave this world, what people will talk about you. Next is the best self. Visualizing our best self in terms of our personal, professional, and social lives. Perhaps a good question to ask is, if I had all the money and time I needed, what do I see myself doing? Where would my joy, my passion, and my satisfaction come from? We are effectively writing our own Wikipedia page. It gives us the freedom to choose what we would like it to say. And the last thing is free writing. The free writing is very, very easy. You just write what matters to you most. No structure is required. You don't have to worry about your spellings because nobody is going to read that. Once you have written everything, what matters to you most, after writing that, read that and bring it to half. Then once you have brought it to half, keep doing the same thing until you are left with a single sentence. And that single sentence will be your purpose in life. So that is how you can identify your purpose. Once you have identified the purpose, now you have to establish your purpose. Without action, purpose is ultimately pointless. Not only do we not achieve anything, we feel worse for having hope to achieve something, but failing because we didn't even try. We might break our purpose down into succession of smaller goals that will direct our behavior, that will get us closer to achieve our purpose and will give us long-term success. Once we have done this, we don't just have to will to succeed, but we have a way to succeed. There is a 4-step process to establish your purpose. Step 1, first write down the statement. If I was successful in my achieving my purpose, what would that look like? With this knowledge, you can then work backwards to identify specific goals and put into place the process to get there. Each goal should be focused on moving closer to your purpose. That should be your aim. Now, step 2, once you have identified your goals, write them down and take your time. Why I saying that take your time? The studies have proved that if you take time to write down your goals, you will be able to achieve those goals. Third is break down goals into tiny steps through if-then planning. Now, if this planning is a very, very important step. This method uses the goals we have developed and identify all the potential problems that we might face. We can then consider each obstacle in turn. If this happens, then I will do this. For example, you are running a cross country. If you lose a shoe in a cross country, then I will leave it there and run barefoot. So for each problem, you must have an answer before you set out on your goal. And fourth thing is success statement. Here we write one sentence on how we feel when we achieve each of our goals. This not only provides the motivation to keep working toward our goal in face of any obstacles, but also keeps goal relevant behaviors in front of our mind so we live more in line with our purpose. For example, a teacher who has been teaching to a child to read or understand a math concept might write as a success statement like, I will be delighted to see the pride on his face. That is your success statement. So these were the 4 steps for establishing the purpose. So now we have seen how to identify the purpose. We have seen how to establish the purpose. And now let us see how to sustain the purpose. Because sustenance is very, very important. You should not get bogged down by the obstacles. Once you have a purpose and goal to help you to fulfill it, you might look at what kinds of habits will help you to sustain this goal. These may be small behavior you can build into your life to make your purpose more achievable. That is one, to make some habits which will help you in achieving the goal. And second is, do auditing of your habits and just find out and just see which are the habits which are going to come in between your purpose and try to replace those unhelpful habits. The second important thing what you can do is having a mantra, having a phrase to sustain your purpose, particularly in the face of obstacles. An easy but highly effective tool is to use a mantra or a phrase. How to find a mantra? You need to identify something personal that resonates deeply inside you. Whenever you come up against obstacle, repeating the phrase can help you remain focused. If you struggle to come up with one, think about what someone you trust might say to you in that moment. A phrase that gives you a bit of lump in your throat is one that will work best. Now, in the end, I would like to bring out that identifying, establishment, and sustaining a purpose is a purposeful planning, and it is also called life crafting. You are crafting your life. Like the artists, they craft different objects with the help of identifying, establishing, and sustaining your purpose. What you're doing actually is your life crafting. Now, this method was used by the Rotterdam School of Management. They created a 3-stage program to help their students develop purpose. Now, what was the 3-stage program? In stage 1, they asked the students to write down the values and ambitions and describe their ideal life and the life they wanted to avoid. So that was the first step, to write down your values and ambitions and describe your ideal life and the life you don't want to have. That means you want to avoid. The second step was they asked their students to develop these notes into specific goals and include plan to achieve them. So in the next step, have a goal and have a plan. And once you have identified your goals and you have made your plan, then they ask their students to do a photo shoot in incorporating a statement linked to their goals, starting with I will dash dash dash. Now, for example, I'll tell you, I will inspire and facilitate sustainable development. Next, I will lead by example and inspire others to reach their goals. Now, the I will phrase ensured that they were clear about their goals, and the process helped to create a feeling of accountability. A study to assess the effectiveness of this life crafting process found that students achieved better academic results than previous cohorts and fewer of them dropped out. We can follow a similar process to this life crafting to identify and develop our own purpose, and it will become the book that tells the story of our life and help us to stay on track. In the end, I would like to end this talk with this quote: always think about your purpose and visualize the Wikipedia page that will be written about you when you become successful and achieve your goals. So here I come to an end of this talk, and in the end, I want to tell all those, especially the youth, that if you want to do well in life, if you want to contribute something for the betterment of this world, which should be the aim of everyone who is living on this earth, who is breathing on this earth, then you must have a purpose in life. Be in those 20%, or with this talk, I hope the number of people who will come in this percentage will improve. You must have a purpose in life. Without purpose in life, your life will be like a hot air balloon, which goes up, but it keeps on moving with the direction of the wind. It is a rudderless boat which does not know where to go. So, if you want to make your life professional, personal, social, successful, then you must have purpose. If you have not identified your purpose, please identify your purpose. Identify, establish, and then sustain with the methods and with the things which I have told you. And I hope that by doing that, you will be able to have a successful life. Thank you very much. I have finished. If there are any questions, I will definitely answer them.
What a wonderful knowledge given by you, sir. I hope our audience learn many new things for this session. Once again, I would like to thank you for joining us and sharing your experience, your precious times and knowledge with us. Now it's time to question and answer round. There are some questions audience want to be answered. So, the first question from the list is, sir, how we improve our potential to how matters is close?
How we improve our potential? That
Yes,
is the
sir.
question. Like I told you, if you want to improve your potential, we all have been sent with a purpose on this earth. The
Yes, sir.
thing which we have to do is that we have to identify our purpose. Once we identify our purpose and we follow that purpose, then automatically our potential will be achieved.
Thank you all for attending today's webinar. And if you have any additional question, you can contact us by email or telephone. We are happy to provide additional support to you. Thank you so much for cooperating. So stay connected to us. And I, Bhanupriya, your host for the day, signing off. Have a wonderful day.